Locomotives have always struggled going up hills. This is because their steel wheels have very little grip on the steel rails, which is a reason the locomotive slips on being put to full throttle when starting, especially steam locomotives, and this was the exact problem the Midland Railway had with the Lickey. Known as the steepest stretch of standard gauge track in Britain, with a grade of 1 in 37.7, the Lickey incline was a cause for double-heading trains for the engines of the Midland Railway. This was becoming a large problem for the MR because it meant that they would eventually have to pay for more engines to cover the work of those pulling one train with the consistent locomotive shortages. So, in 1919, the Midland Railway decided to turn to their chief mechanical engineer, Henry Fowler, and Derby Works to build a dedicated banker for the Lickey, and what he came up with was simply extraordinary. Officially known as the MR-020 locomotive, she was stationed at Bromsgrove at the bottom of the hill, and when a train came along, she would be buffered up to the rear and effortlessly push it up the hill and reverse back down to wait for another. Her design was nothing short of impressive, with 4 colossal cylinders, 180 psi boiler, 4 foot 7.5 inch driving wheels, a weight of 105 tons, and a tractive effort of 43,313 pounds, making her one of the heaviest locomotives in Britain at the time of her entering service, and the most powerful single-frame engine in Britain. As a result of her colossal size and strength, she was given a more fitting name of Big Emma by engine crews, who were very impressed with the locomotive's performance. However, the rail fans and media would give her the more famous name of Big Bertha. She would spend the next 37 years running between Bromsgrove and Blackwell, racking up an impressive 838,856 miles, which meant she would go up and down the hill a total of 209,714 times, or go around the circumference of the Earth over 33 times. The engine would be put into BR ownership in 1948, and would be renumbered to 58100 and given the BR black livery with early crest on the tender. She would remain in service until 1956, when she was withdrawn and replaced by BR9F number 92079 until 1958, when the line was handed over to the Western region. A group of 9400 tanks and a 5205 tank engine, number 5226, would replace it. The final steam locomotive to bank on Lickey was Helmingham Hall on the 7th of October 1965. Despite her dedicated fan base and loyal service to our country, especially during World War II, Big Bertha would not be put onto any preservation lists and was scrapped in September 1957 at Derby Works, the same place of her birth, with her smokebox number plate and headlamp being spared from scrap, and the number plate is now on display at the Midland Railway Museum in Butterley. There are many reasons why Big Bertha was sent for scrap, but the most evidential reason is the fact that she was very difficult to maintain, and when British Railways opted for a standardization scheme in the 1950s, any locomotives that cannot be repaired with commonly used parts, such as valve gear, cylinders, and boilers, were scrapped, with Big Bertha unfortunately being a definition for steam locomotive design anomalies. Although she is no longer around in physical form, she lives on in the memories of those who saw her and were told about her, as well as the photographs of her in service, a rare clip of her shot in 1935, in games such as Train Sim, and in the song Big Bertha by former BR fireman David Golder. The song was released in 1988 on the album The Man Who Put the Engine in the Chip Shop. As a result, it can be argued that the engine is now even more beloved than when she was around.